What's going on, my planted family? I hope you guys are doing well today. Man, my wife, she dropped a fire word on me in our counseling session this week. And there she goes making us some cookies, man. Can't wait for those cookies tonight. Um, Gosh, she's so great. She's so great. I'm gonna brag on my wife a little bit tonight. I hope you guys are okay with that. But she dropped a really good word on me the other day in our counseling session, just talking about how the mundane task of being a mom, the mundane task of being a wife, it can often feel like you have to do things. You have to do the laundry. You have to fold the clothes. You have to do the dishes. You have to prep dinner. You have to. And oftentimes in my life, I think about I have to make phone calls. I have to go do this. I have to go do that. I have to go pay that bill. But Kaylee, I don't know if she was reading a book, but she always is reading. She's always growing her mind, which I love about her. We're both growing constantly. We're not trying to stay stagnant in our relationship. We're not trying to stay stagnant emotionally. We're not trying to stay stagnant spiritually. We're just continuing to grow, and she's always reading these books on parenting, and it's just really encouraging to see that she really does care about the work that she's doing at home. And for any mom out there, any dad out there that just feels like, hey, I don't really know if I have much purpose, I don't really know if I'm doing what I'm called to do in the home, I would just say you got to flip that script. Like, you are where you're exactly where you're supposed to be, where God has you, and you're doing amazing work. Nobody can raise your babies and nobody can raise your children like you can, like the one who birthed them, like the one who participated in the act of conception. So there's nobody that can be there for them like you can, and there's no replacement for you. So I just want to encourage you in that. My wife, she really like takes hold of that. She takes a lot of pride in that. But I know it can be mundane. I know it can be hard to constantly serve me, especially a wretch like myself, especially a sinner like myself, where man, I think about some of the things that I've thought, that I've done, and I'm just like, geez, how does she constantly continue to show up for me? And she said this in our counseling session, and it's been amazing for us to go to counseling. So if you're thinking about going, like, I think you should go. There are some things that had happened in our past, having kids and all that we felt like we needed to go. There's a lot of expectations, whatever, and we went, and it just has been a blessing the last like 7 or 8 months doing that. And we're going to grow. Like, now we're not necessarily fixing an old problem, but we're like going there to constantly continue to grow. Our relationship is a great place, but can it can be in a better place. It can be in the best place. Like, but you got to continue to pour into yourself and continue to pour into each other and continue to see the inner beauty within your spouse, the inner beauty within each other. And that's what we're trying to do right now. And we were in the sessions. She said, I've changed my mind with doing the dishes. I've changed my mind with laundry. I've changed my mind with the mundane tasks. And now I think to myself, I get to do these things. I get to serve my husband. I get to fold the laundry. I get to serve my kids. I get to do this instead of I have to do this. And I think it's just it's such a simple thing too, right? I've heard this before, but I heard it coming from my wife, who is directly serving me in the home. And that's when it really shook me. You never heard that saying, like, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear? I think that's the same way with sayings. I think it's the same way with things that we've heard in our past before. When you're truly ready to receive, you will get the information that you need. And I needed to hear that in our session, because that directly reflected upon me. It made me feel so good, like, wow, she's trying to change her mind about doing all of these tasks that she may dislike or be neutral on, or they're just boring, or they just get old, right? And I get to do the dishes, I get to do the laundry, I get to serve my husband, I get to serve my wife, I get to do this, I get to do that. I think is a powerful way to reframe all that you're going through in life. So tonight, I was doing the dishes. Now what we're doing, we got this new routine that, like, right after we eat, before we go put the kids into bath time and get them ready for bed, like, we do this like power clean, right? Because a lot of times either I would come down or Kaylee would come down after the kids got to bed, and it's just a disaster, right? Instead, like, how can we start to help and train our children to participate? Obviously, Ranger's 1, he's not really participating, but Radlin's 3, she understands the concept of it, and she's starting to help out. She's starting to get involved, and she might put a few things away while Kaylee and I, do the majority of the cleaning. But I was sitting there And I was reflecting upon that counseling session. I was reflecting upon what Kaylee had told me. And I was just doing the dishes and I just totally changed my mind. Like, I get to do this. I get to scrub these dishes for my family. Like, have I forgotten how special it is, A, to have a home, B, to have dishes to scrub, C, to have food to eat, that we even have dishes to scrub, like all of these things that we take for granted, right? Now I changed my mind tonight, like, and I started praising God. I started praising God for the first time in my life doing dishes for my family, like something that I normally dislike. Like, when is this going to be over? And I flipped my mind to, man, how privileged, how how grateful can I be for the fact that I have dishes to scrub? And I'm looking out at my family. They're cleaning up all the bird bingo. They're cleaning up from the day. They're cleaning up it was just a great Sunday, right? We plugged into each other. We didn't really plug into any games, right? We didn't really plug into the TV at all. It's funny, like somebody asked me at the park, "Are you excited for the games tonight? Are you excited for the games today?" And me, I'm a big sports fan. I really am a sports fan, but in this season of my life, I'm not really tapped into sports. Like, I love sports, I love athletics, I love what it's all about, but I'm not really tapped in. I couldn't tell you who was playing today. I really don't know who was playing today. And sometimes I think, like, isn't that weird, Lance? Like, isn't that weird? And then lately I'm just like, I don't know if it's that weird. I would rather be as present as I possibly could with my kids, playing in the bounce house, playing upstairs, playing on the trampoline, just them seeing my eyes more than anything. I know there's going to be a time when Ranger grows up a little bit and he wants to throw the game on, and I'm going to be like, "Game on, brother." I'm happy to throw the game on. It brings me joy that we're in that season of life now, and we get to watch the game and talk about the game and talk about athletics. I know that day will come, but in this day, in this season that I'm in, like, how great of a season that I'm in, that I just get to be and be with my family. And I get to be with my family today. I get to hang out with them all day. I get to serve them all day. I get to pray for them. I get to hold them when they're struggling. I get to make dinner for them. I get to pay all the bills. I get to go to work tomorrow. I get to speak to schools. I get to, do everything that my family needs. I get to go to the grocery store. I get to fold the laundry. Like, whatever it is, I get to. I don't have to. I get to. I don't have to. So right now, what I want you to try to do is just flip the script. Flip the script on the mundane tasks. Flip the script on hanging out with your spouse. Flip the script on the gym. Flip the script on your relationships. Flip the script on everything in your life right now. You are absolutely blessed that you even have a car to drive. You're even blessed that you have food to eat. You're blessed that you have shelter. You're blessed that you own a home. You're blessed that you rent a home. You're blessed in all of these different ways. There's so many people in the world that don't have what you have. And the fact that you even have it is a blessing that you have it. So thank you to Kaylee, my beautiful wife. And God has been showing me this is one other thing. Kaylee's inner beauty is twice her exterior beauty. That rocked me. And how can I get to know her inner beauty on another level? And it's things like this, just recognizing the words that she says and the power that they have. And I'm just humbled that she's my wife, and I want to share that with you because I know you can take something from it. I know when you're doing your tasks this week, I know when you're doing the mundane this week that you get to do it. And that's a mentality switch. That's a mentality that you can take into the rest of your life. And I pray this over your life. Father God, I just pray for anybody hearing this that they would understand how truly blessed they are, and they would understand how much you have given them, and how you have given them a family to serve, how you have given them a dog to serve, how you have given them whoever it is to serve, how you have given students to serve, how you have given them friends to serve, how you have given them just somebody to serve. And that those somebodies are not just anybody's, but they're the somebodies that you have called us to serve. And that we don't have to serve them, but we get to serve them, Lord. So I just ask that anybody to hear this would just change their mind today, that in all situations, all things that they do, they start thinking about how blessed they are that they get to do the things that you have called them to do, even when it's mundane, even when it just doesn't make sense, even when it's frustrating, that we get to do these things. In Jesus' name I pray. I hope y'all have a blessed evening. Thank you so much for tapping in. Tap into the newsletter. Hit me up on Instagram. Would love to pray for you anytime. But have a blessed one, y'all. You get to. Peace.